Hey guys, welcome to the channel today. We're gonna be covering something really cool today. It is a Soundskins product that I absolutely love and cannot wait to get on the car. This is the Soundskins rings. Let's check it out.
Next level.
All right, so when you get your package, the Soundskin rings, they're gonna come like this. And I've got a 4-speaker package. So when you open them up, you got the top ones, which you're gonna end up finding the size of your speaker, and this is gonna go on the outside of your speaker. We'll cover that here in a second when we actually do the install. But this is what we're gonna install behind the speakers to catch all that extra sound from going inside the door and really losing a lot of the mid and the bass that gets trapped in the door. This is gonna really help reduce road noise for one, and second, hopefully make the stereo sound a lot better. Let's run out to the car and get this started. Okay y'all, first step to this whole process, I'm using this trim removal piece that came in a kit of mine. You're gonna open the door lever, push this right back here, and pop your cover out. And you will see, looks like a 10mm bolt right there to start with. Okay, the next fun bit is gonna be taking this piece off. There's 2 more screws behind this, or 2 more bolts. I'm just gonna use a pry tool. And there it is, completely off. And you got these 2, one here and one in there. Okay, the next piece of action here is going to be popping all the pop clips around, which I've got a couple different pop clip tools. I'm gonna try this and just take my time. So as I did that, this rubber knob on the outside corner over here just popped off, just so you know. Take it off beforehand. It goes right here. Just so that doesn't happen to you guys, take this piece off first. But we got this loose. There's a couple things we'll need to do to unclip in here. Okay, what we're gonna start with is removing these 2. Inside, this is for the door latch. We're gonna do is pop these up, and that just came right out. This piece, pop it up, and you'll see that piece comes right out. So now we can look at the very bottom wire, which this one is just your door lighting. So there's 2 more clips right there. Ty's checking it out. Overall, this is what they provided. And the Soundskins one is way thicker foam than this, and we're gonna end up putting that on this ring to really help that piece out. We will probably put excess sound deadening stuff under here. Taking a look at this, seems like everything is clipped or attached to this black piece here. If I just knock all these 10mm out, I can remove this piece, keeping all these other pieces clipped to it. But for now, we're gonna start with the speaker. So we pull out our speaker, and as you can see, there's like a light piece of foam or sound deadening here along this ring, and that's probably another spot we can add more sound deadening. So I'm gonna do these 4 silver ones first, and then do all the interior bolts to pull this panel off, and hopefully we have clear access to the door with no big issues. Okay, so with those 4 all removed, the window is loose. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna continue and go around and do all the ones on the side. Might just need some gentle persuasion. So the window's gonna wanna fall down if we move all this stuff out of the way. So what I wanna do, I've got enough room in here now, and you can see the small sound deadening they've actually done. There's a piece here. So I wanna add just 2 pieces in here, maybe 3 pieces, and then we'll put this all back together and work on the outside. So what I'm doing next is opening up one of my Pro door kits. These are all uncut, so you're just gonna get one massive roll. If you guys who are unfamiliar with Soundskins, it's like a 3-layer sound material. So you got your butyl layer, there's a foil layer, you have your foam on top, And it's really got the mass and the foam and everything to stop vibration, sound. Guys, there's so many different ways and methods to measuring and cutting this. It's a lot easier if you completely remove the panel. For me, I'm gonna show you how I'm doing it. It's pretty easy, so check this out. All you need is painter's tape. So basically, I lay out the tape and just get an X and Y axis, literally, of the length and the thickness that I want in there. And then I'm gonna pull that out, and we'll have our first piece here. Here's what I'm doing. Got my axes laid out. I'm just gonna add one more piece here, so I have a perfect line for cutting.
Any ideas?
Okay, and like that, we have our templates cut out for the doors. So let's run out there and get this stuff thrown in. Guys, as best practice, clean the inside with rubbing alcohol. Take your Soundskins and you're gonna peel it, get it ready to put in there. And then I'm going to maneuver and get this in there. So this is the fun part. So check it out. Going back, bottom one, area there on the bottom, and a square right there, going over another square. So the next thing we're gonna do is focus on the speaker area. Plate thing, it's supposed to catch the back wave. There's no feasible way to mount it in here flat. Across the bar, half moon piece there, and then a half moon piece in the corner. And that's it for the inside. Okay, y'all, and one of the final things you want to do is get a roller. I've got two different kinds, and you just take your time and just roll all the Soundskins. That way it gets a nice pressed fit, and then we're done. Here's how the inside turned out. Just 3 pieces. Not a whole lot of coverage, but enough to stop any excess vibration on that panel. I'll show you the backside of the speaker. I put one of the rings on. The speaker did go right in with that huge piece of foam. Maybe overkill, but I'm just trying it out. I really want to get the best sound possible and cut out that back wave and make the system sound awesome. The inside of the door, I was test spinning it, and some of this like blanket stuff is just for fitting, and I'm sure it cuts out a little bit of sound deadening, so I stuck in pieces, just small pieces here and there, real small pieces, because this is already a 2-piece thing. It's got like this, and a whole nother plastic thing, and it looks like there's a foam or some other stuff in there. So they really killed it with the sound deadening just from the factory. Compared to the Subaru, this is a whole nother world, just way higher craftsmanship, and it shows. Okay guys, I went a little more ham on the inside of the passenger door. I may go back to the driver's side, but I added an extra piece here, a bigger one there, and a piece at the bottom. And this is just one door kit roll for the front 2 doors. There's already tons of excess sound deadening, but again, passenger side, just filled in everything behind here. And there's just tons of pieces hidden in here. So yeah, the front doors are gonna be done here soon. I'm gonna throw this back up and check it out. All right, we're starting the rear door, which is identical to the front door. So you pop out that first little cover, and then you take off the little armrest cover, and there's your bolts. And unscrew the rubber piece before you take off the cover. So this is pretty much identical to the front door. You're just gonna undo your door handle, the same couple clips for the light, and the locks and all that. Okay, so this one has a vapor shield. That's kind of your typical one. What we're gonna end up doing is taking this plastic piece off completely and using it as a template to cut out our Soundskins. Okay, next step here. Before we remove the vapor shield completely, we're going to take off this piece here that supports the door frame. It's just 2 other 10 mils, and we're gonna take this off, that way we don't have to tear around it with the plastic. All right, so the next bit of fun here is peeling this all off. It's like the symbiote. It's like Venom up in here. It's awesome. We can reuse this, which is something we may do, because a lot of people say you may as well reuse this piece. So, and just some of this excess stuff you can kind of just thumb away. It's really easy to just thumb away and pick up. Okay, so we're on the same page here. There's no sound deadening in the rear doors. So that's why you can really hear road noise coming through the rear of the car. All right, here's where we're starting with. We have the circular foam piece in there. I'm gonna add some more along the side there in the corner. And I'm gonna try something different on the rear doors. I'm gonna put these rings on the inside like that and see if that can kind of help make a tighter little enclosure. And I'm gonna put a little more sound deadening up here too. This is the template I kind of got for the inner door. I'm gonna throw it in there. And I just kind of worked around this cord that is connected to the door here. This is gonna fit pretty much perfectly and cover a lot of area, which is what we want right now. Okay, here's the final work on the inside. 2 huge pieces on top. 1 piece in the center there. I have 1 piece running along this beam all the way back. Circular foam in there. Foam ring. Some pieces in there. I covered this piece here and part of this piece here. And there's that piece that runs that you can't see under here. So the inside is tackled. Okay, I've laid this out. We're gonna trace it. The Soundskins roll isn't big enough to get all of it, so we'll have to get this bottom piece later. So when you're tracing it like this, just be sure your orientation is correct. I have the goof facing up. Everything's oriented like it's gonna go on the vehicle, so that way I don't mess the template up. But if you do accidentally do that, you probably just made one for the opposite door. Okay, next piece of the puzzle is just punching out some holes where the cables went through. So I'm just gonna punch through with this and then kind of widen it up. That way I can push the cables through again once we get this on there. Okay, I have my piece laid out. 2 holes for the door frame piece. This slit here so all the cables come through, and then the other slit up at top here for the door handle cables. The piece for the vapor shield is cut out, and I already made the opposite side ready to go. Just traced it. The last touch is here. Foam around the speaker and just random places we've got sound deadening covering up on the inside there. Not trying to go for full coverage because you don't need full coverage. The speaker, when you line up this template, you just want to make sure you don't cover any of the mounting holes if you cut your template bigger than normal, which mine kind of is cut just a hair wider than this plastic piece. So I'm just gonna kind of make sure all that goes over it. But yeah, I'm gonna pull everything through and then I'm gonna peel everything out. So now we're gonna mount this piece up, how it's supposed to go, and get the door frame back on. Okay, that piece is on there. Next, we're just gonna get the speaker back on, plug everything in, and get ready to put it back together. I finished all 3 other doors. This is the last door, but everything already sounds amazing. I'm gonna do the sub tonight also, throwing some rings on the sub mounting points and see if that helps. For the rear of the sub, I'm gonna put a Soundskins ring here because there's already a rubber piece there, and I'm hoping that'll help a little extra vibration in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put anything on top. It's kind of already pre-molded for the sub in here, but I'm not sure if it needs it. So here's the final look at this. I got 1 ring there, which I had to cut to fit perfectly, and then 1 here. I'm not sure if this is gonna make any difference, guys. I really hope it kind of does isolate this up a bit more. Popping up the tweeter cover is super easy. You just put in a pop clip here and pushed it up. And you see in here, we're gonna have 4 8mm bolts. So we're gonna pop these all out, pull this up, and get some of the sound rings in here and a little bit of sound deadening. Okay, when you're ready to pull up the tweeter, there's gonna be a clip right here. So you're gonna push down and undo the clip. With the tweeter out of there, you'll see there's no sound deadening in there. There's a piece of foam wrapped around this cord, probably just for vibration, but nothing really in here. I'm doing 1 ring here. And yeah, this piece will just kind of sit in there perfectly. And I've got 1 ring here, wrapped around and cut. I'm gonna undo this ring and try to squeeze it down in there, maybe stick it up against the top side, maybe even the bottom side. And I put 1 piece of sound deadening already in there. All right, last thing tonight. Popped out the center piece, super easy, just those clips. And I'm going to foam this guy up real quick. Okay, I put foam all around the bottom side. And then there's foam. On the bottom of this one, a big thick one. It already had this top piece. And here, we just put that. And there's already kind of foam tape all around it to stop with rattling. Hopefully this helps open it up just a little bit. Give it a little more mid and, you know, highs a little bit more clear. Not sounds bouncing around inside the dash. So hopefully this helps.